Good morning. Welcome to the fresh edition of your favorite program on television, Inside Nigeria. It's your breakfast show where we review and discuss front headline stories on some select newspapers on the program. My name is Winifred Webo, and it sure feels good to be hosting you on today's Monday, October 30th, 2023 program. As usual, we have several papers on the table on our menu for review this Monday, and we like to start off with Leadership, Nigeria's most influential newspaper. The Leadership's leading story today, Monday, October 30, 2023, says depletion of justices. CJN moves to fill 11 Supreme Court vacancies. Depletion of justices. CJN moves to fill 11 Supreme Court vacancies. NJC may pick from among 10 Court of Appeal justices for 6 North Central South East slots. Apex Court needs full list of 21 justices. And just beneath the leading story, we have the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, presenting the symbolic FCT key to the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on his arrival at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, yesterday. Beside these, we have 14 Joso to replace Indiomu as amnesty boss. Taraba boat mishap, 15 bodies recovered, others missing. Israel-Hamas war, death toll hits 9,400 in Gaza. Female FUT lecturer murdered in Mina. And above that, we have another leading story. Again, federal government labor meets on palliatives today. Again, federal government labor meets on palliatives today. Nigeria loses billions of naira to 70 Lagos Abidjan checkpoints. Tinubu northern governors orders mourn Ohinoyi of Egbira land. Fidelity Bank boosts Nigeria's non-oil exports with FITCC boosting. For more on leadership cover stories, you have to log on to the website. But for now, let's go over to the page 3 of the paper where we have our stand. Our stand is on safety on the nation's waterways. Safety on the nation's waterways. From page 3, we move over to the back page of Leadership. Monday column with Dakuku Peter side, rise on budget of booby traps. Budget of booby traps. So for more on these inside stories, continuation of headline stories, and of course the editorial, log on to the website of Leadership, www.leadership.ng. From Leadership, Blueprint is next. Blueprint says it's still a development story on the P&ID case, and of course the man at the center of it all who saved Nigeria from $15 billion in awards is former President Muhammadu Buhari, and he says on the cover of Blueprint, how I fought P&ID fraud saved Nigeria $15 billion trauma. How I fought P&ID fraud saved Nigeria $15 billion trauma. Says it's an attempted haste of historic proportions. It sure is. Nigeria won this battle with corruption, but the war is far from over, says former President Muhammadu Buhari. Underneath that leading story, we have FUT female lecturer slaughtered in her Mina residence. What is sad news. City of Houston proclaims October 25 FITTC Day. Boat carrying 100 passengers capsizes in Taraba. Serap to INEC, take over constitutional reform process or face legal action. Nigerian politicians reluctant to work for genuine improvement. This story continues on page 6 of Blueprint. And with that, we move up just to the stories beneath the masthead. Lagos, 20 years after avoiding rent obligation, court evicts late Somu's lawyer, son. Ohinoyi of Egbira land was a father figure to all, Ganduje, Barau, others. Exercise clean sweep. Army detonates 642 unexploited ordinances in Lagos. And of course, we have First Bank of Nigeria Holdings declares profit before tax of 270 billion naira in 9 months. For more on blueprints, inside stories, the editorial back page, log on to the website www.blueprint.ng. From Blueprint, we have THISDAY next. THISDAY says, Tinubu, we are set to change narrative surrounding Nigeria's economy. Tinubu, we are here to change narrative surrounding Nigeria's economy. Reiterates with Supreme Court affirmation of his election, no more distractions. Of course, we have the picture of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with the visiting Chancellor, German Chancellor Scholz, as he visited Tinubu yesterday at the presidential villa. And on this trip beneath it, we have Adeleke, that is Osun State Governor. Osun to get 5 flyovers, 45 roads from 100 billion naira infrastructure plan. Tinubu, Atiku, Barau, Northern Governors, Ganduje, Melaye, Ajaka, others mourn Ohinoyi of Ebira land. Rivers Assembly set ablaze over alleged move to impeach Governor Fubara. Above the masthead of this day, subsidy removal, federal government targets 1 million gas-powered vehicles by 2027. 15-point agreement. NLC wants Minister of Labour excluded from today's meeting with federal government. Insist Wednesday's protest in Imo we hold. Now, these are the leading stories on the cover of this day. Today, Monday, 30 October 2023. And for more on this continuation, Inside Stories editorial back page, log on to the website www.thisdaylive.com. From this day, we move over to The Punch. The Punch is next on our menu. The Punch is on forest crisis. Labour blames government officials, meets federal government today. Forest crisis. Labour blames government officials, meets federal government today. Politicians taste for foreign goods pushing Nigeria to disaster. NLC. Labour threatens to boycott talks with government if minister attempts. Because we have the picture of the German Chancellor as he visited Tinubu, observing the parade yesterday. Gives ECOWAS 81 million pounds for security orders. German Chancellor visits Tinubu, gives ECOWAS 81 million euros, for security orders. Tinubu mourns Ohinoyi, Kogi APC suspends campaign. Scores feared kid as boat capsizes in River Benue. Bandits adopt Zamfara monarch, 5 others, key one. And with this, we move over to the stories above the masthead. Federal government seeks speedy delivery of Turkish attack helicopters. Afrexim, Fidelity Bank, John Vance seal $40 million cocoa deal. Challenging P&ID fraud saved Nigeria $15 billion. Buhari. And that's a great one. And of course, something to commend the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, for. With that, we move over to the last paper on our menu, and that is Vanguard. Vanguard, Monday, October 30, 2023. Vanguard says NLC, TUC, NECA to federal government. Hot fall in Naira value. NLC, TUC, NECA to federal government. Hot fall in Naira value. Ask federal government to take urgent actions to stabilize currency. NLC threatens action to compel the government to prioritize rescue of Naira economy if NLC threatens action to compel government to prioritize rescue of Naira economy if TUC blames IMF, World Bank. Free fall of Naira worrisome. And of course, we have the same picture that has been trending on other papers. Tinubu host Gemma Chancellor. Net foreign exchange inflow falls 54% to $7.29 billion in first half. Monarch Catholic priest for others abducted in Zamfara, Taraba. Varsity lecturer killed in Niger. And for sports, we have 2026 WCO. Leicester block Ndidi from joining Super Eagles. We have Tinubu at ACF, others mourn as Ohinoyi of Egbiraland dies at 95. Oyo government files appeal against removal of show. Abodima said of the Vanguard, we have Minister Foreign Missions rule over return dates. Tinubu to German leader, we want to change weak economy narratives. Fidelity Bank boosts Nigerians non-oil exports with FITCC boosted. Says $40 million deal with Afrexim Bank, John Ventures Industries for cocoa exports. And of course, Vanguard has a special report today. Card reader, server, Beavers and IREV. NANS, INEC, judiciary, and future elections. For more stories, continuation of these headline stories, log on to the website of Vanguard. And with that, we move over to, the last paper on our menu, which is our sister publication, National Economy. National Economy's leading story today is on free fall. Naira free fall. The headline story says free fall, why Naira may continue to depreciate. Experts. Free fall, why Naira may continue to depreciate. Experts find out why Naira may continue to depreciate in this special exclusive story on National Economy, a weekly business paper from the stable of Leadership Media Group. Underneath the leading story, we have beverage tax in Nigeria, a thirst for heads and revenue. Beverage tax in Nigeria, a thirst for heads and revenue. Why fintech disruption cannot turn traditional banks into venue. Story continues on page 10 of National Economy. And on this strip, we have implication of CBN's lifting of restrictions on 43 items. Find out what the implications are as you continue to the website of National Economy, www.nationaleconomy.com, for more stories. And with that, we brought the first part of the show, Inside Nigeria, to an end. But don't go away, because the second program, we already have our guest in the house who is going to talk more on some of the leading headline stories. Oscar, I just called for a break and I said, with that, we brought the end of this first segment. You didn't listen?
Be part of our brand. Leadership for God and country.
Yes, well, viewers, you are welcome back to the second segment of the show, your breakfast show on television, Inside Nigeria. It's reaching you on Leadership Television. My name, once again, is Winifred Ugbebo. Of course, I have my Monday guest in the house, is a Dr. PhD holder in political economics, public affairs analyst, Aliyu Elias. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you.
How's your week?
Very fine. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, what are we going to discuss? The story trended last week of the Agon, I will refer to him of a Supreme Court, retired Supreme Justices of the Supreme Court, and he made some allegations that, and of course, many Nigerians are of the opinion that why is he speaking now? Why now that he's leaving, that his time is up? Why didn't he speak out when he was part of the rot claimed to be taking place in the Supreme Court?
Right. I think it's just common to Nigerians. Anytime they're about to exit, that's when they think about what has gone wrong. But I also actually like what he did. He excused himself from the last judgment.
Yes, because he was going to retire.
Yeah, some also want to be part of the issues. But the thing is, it's become clear now that our leaders see things that are wrong.
And they
will not complain until they are out of the system. Do you listen to Amechi?
Yes.
That same thing happens to Amechi. It's not saying that leader citizens should hold leader accountable, because if you say you won't do him, you won't let him go. He was 4 years, 8 years, and people are asking him, what about you?
Yes, exactly.
When you were in power,
what
did you complain? Did you complain? So now when you leave power, you now come to the side of the masses. And as if you belong to the and that's the problem of our leaders, most of them. And that's what happened to Datijo as well too. You are in the system. You are not saying that you have never influenced your position. You have not done. We know Nigeria system. Somebody must have recommended you, because now they want to choose another level. Somebody must have recommended, do this, do that. Everybody can be qualified, but politically, someone will be favored compared to the other. So it's not a new thing.
And among one of the issues he also raised, some of the issues he also raised was the fact that the CJN wields so much power, and many Nigerians are saying that it's not just in the CJN alone. We have the president too, president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, also has power, and we also have governors. The same thing. It goes in every sector. We even have Senate president. Of course, Senate president has a vice deputy Senate president, but who gets to hear, or he doesn't get to exert some of his functions because of the head is actually so much powerful. So much power is bestowed on the
president. Will you say Dume try to correct the Senate president?
Exactly. And the governor too is the same thing that plays out in states. We have governors and their deputies, just like we have fallout now between Edo State and Ondo State, between
even
the governors and
Rivers is having their own fair share too.
Yes, but I'm talking about him now saying that the CJN wears so much power. And people say it's not just restricted to CJN alone; it also goes in other.
But I think that he wears so much power is not even the issue; it's the system itself. Because if somebody have power and there is a check and balance, and other justice can also call into action. You could recall what happens to was it last chief judge, whereby every of the judge complained about him. So if the system allow other judges to actually complain about a judge, it's a good, but whereby nobody can talk. Once you talk, you are fired. That's where we have problem. So if the system does not allow others to hear their view, I think that's bad. But if it allows them, it's not bad. A governor is a governor, but a governor should be checked by the state assembly, or also give some power to the deputy governor. Perhaps our constitution should start looking at that now, whereby we say, governor, these are your role, deputy governor, these are your role, and there will be proper check and balance. If you don't have check and balance, it is human. Once you have absolute power, corrupt absolutely. So it's like that.
Yes, but at the end of the day, anyway, because I also raised this issue before, at least when the crisis erupted between governors of Edo and Ondo State and their deputies, and a guest was of the opinion that no, if you do that, you might actually be creating a situation whereby the deputy governor having these powers too, we also liaise with maybe the state house of assembly to impeach the governor so I can take that position.
Well, it's
And
possible.
same with president. Do you think so?
It's possible. It
He said
depends
so
on the power.
normal, the way it is now is actually the best.
I agree with you. It is the best because if you give deputy governor too much powers to,
Yes, is it
imagine
like-
Philip Shaibu.
Yes.
You know, everyone know that in Edo State is a strong man. In fact, he
Yes.
influenced the coming of the present governor for second term. So if you had a little power to actually work with the assembly, the governor will be in soup. So we have to bring a check and balance that will give everybody to his own size, and system should be able to correct even the governor and also correct the deputy governor and even the state assembly, just like what happened at what is happening at River State now. You can see now their assembly was burnt, and they have to reconvene this morning, and they remove the majority
Yes,
leader.
we were able to
They
do
remove the
that,
majority
yes.
leader, and also they say they want to impeach the governor. So
and they say it's also a dig at Fubara, that is the governor of the state.
Right.
But don't you think that, in my view, was when the story came out, I'm like, is it not too early to say that Ms. Wike, the minister of FCT, wants him Fubara out?
Well, the fact is, there is about decision. You know, you recall that as a governor, solely bring this man to the governorship, and he must have given him what to do and what not to.
And you know, he actually said, look, though I'm going to assist, I'm supporting Tinubu, but Rivers State is a PDP state, and I'm going to support my candidate Fubara to that place. And he actually
achieved that.
What
so
could have just happened so soon that
I think I will blame Fubara,
Fubara
because if you recall what happened between Aregbesola and Oyetola and Aregbesola. Remember, Aregbesola made Oyetola to become governor, but when Oyetola becomes problematic to Aregbesola, he's out of the government, and he couldn't. Even 4 years was a struggle. And after 4 years, out of government. If not for Tinubu that become president, I'll bring Oyetola back to minister. So it would have been a serious. So I think
is it that it's only Edo State now that Edo State we're strong enough to say that no, now Senator Shomole, you cannot have your way.
Yes, I think
he's going to stand by.
But it will be, that's why I said it's with the support of Philip Shaibu too, because it's not the making of even the governor himself, it's people around. But for
I don't think it's just the making of Shaibu alone, but I think that it's the people that voted. The people said no.
You know, he has to go to different party.
This is
that's another thing you have to look at. He was not operating in the same party, but in this case, it's still the same. But the fact was, I would like to caution Fubara. Because Fubara, he just came in barely some months. Sometimes you have to play along, because in governance, it is your second term that you have your say. This first time, you have to celebrate Wiki, follows his. If you say appoint this person as commissioner, you don't have to, because he chooses you among many. So I want you to play his game. But for second term, you can easily, have your own say. Perhaps you are looking for your own successor as well. So I think Fubara should be cautioned more, because perhaps Wike must have had a template that you want things to go. So you can play along to an extent. When you have the grip of the house, grip of everything, that's when you start asserting your own decision. So it is expected, because you can't expect a person like Wike, he love power so much, you wouldn't want to give the power out for now.
Well, it's very, very unfortunate, and this godfatherism is what most Nigerians are complaining about, and that has not actually been able to deliver democratic dividends to the people because of godfatherism. So is there any end in sight to this? What can be done to stem or curb or totally eliminate godfatherism in
I was thinking
politics?
when Lamidi of Oyo State died, that godfatherism would have stopped in Nigeria, because he asserted that power and did it very well. But I discovered that these people, Godfather comes and go because of the power. Now look at it. Ayabilu come with providence to become governor because of the late Audu, but it's open now that Ayabilu is becoming godfather as well, because if he's able to put Ododo in power, he becomes it is. So
and the same thing with even Obaseki,
that is it.
Because he's the one that came that said no, we don't want godfather.
Now he's bringing.
Now he's also bringing. So, and it also started with Oshomole. Oshomole was like, yes, he was giving thumbs up to himself for dismantling.
You can also see what happened at Kano. Kwankwaso is a godfather now. So it's like those our politicians are so greedy that when they are leaving power, they still want to hold on to and they want them to listen to them and follow anything they say. Look at Lagos State.
Perhaps
Tinubu still remain godfather of Lagos State.
Perhaps,
So,
Aliu, is the problem has to do with the masses. Don't you think so?
I think it's the masses because
you can bring a front father, but we
yes,
can decide that no, we are not.
In the long run, the followers is also the problem
godson.
because if even this godfather
Yes,
did not look at what happened in Kwara State. Bukola Saraki, at a point, his father was godfather. He later became godfather. But now, the masses were able to vote his candidate out and bring someone else. So we really know this someone else also will become godfather someday.
Someday,
so,
when his tenure,
but it's possible if masses are well educated and politically exposed, they can easily take decision who will govern the country better, not who the godfather has introduced to them.
Yes, thank you so much. Perhaps there's a fallout, a good one at that, of Dante Joe's I don't want his statement anyway.
You will recall that the judiciary has been
leadership says the CJM moves to fill 11 Supreme Court.
Well, that's a good one because
that's what I'm saying.
A lot of cases are waiting. I'm telling you, and in fact, if you take a case to Supreme Court today, you might be expecting judgment 3 years, 2 years time.
3 years.
Yes,
That is even
okay. I've been modest,
because
right?
I was here. I heard somebody was telling me of a case that has been in Supreme Court since 2020. Now, and the case has
still on bail. That's the problem. So, but my own is that why don't they unbundle this Supreme Court?
That's what somebody also said.
If it's unbundled, each state can have, and perhaps we have 36 judges or whatever. So we can really tame this issue because you can. It's a justice delay. It's just denying. Some people have died because in the process of fighting for their rights, and they are late already. So sometimes we need to do more. 11 is too just small in number.
And we also saw that Dauphin State judgment last year when they said that they gave Supreme Court, and the case has been in court over the years, and it was not decided upon until when it became a full-blown estate. So you mean that the people that have the estate, they have to demolish their houses?
So I expect appellate courts to even delay issue, not Supreme Court.
Said now that he was going to
compensate them. He's trying to look at
because you cannot just after all these years
and tell them to move.
Evacuate these people that have.
So sometimes that the decision in justice should be done as early as possible. What if there's an issue in appellate court and shall we bring it to Supreme Court? It should be as fast and quick as possible, not delay for 3 years, 10 years, and things would have gone bad before you now bring justice.
Exactly.
Except political issue that they always speed, like Tinubu case.
Yes,
so which is not fair enough.
This presidential case.
Right.
Now let's go back again. It's a story when it broke out. It's at least Nigerians have something to celebrate about. Talking about this P&ID case, and the man at the center of it all, President Muhammadu Buhari, has come out to say how I fought P&ID fraud saved Nigeria $15 billion trauma.
So Tinubu came with anti-corruption mantra.
Buhari,
so to say, came with that. But I think this is a plus to him because when the thing was broke, when the news was broken that we have won the case, people are saying up to Tinubu. I say no. This one is not for Tinubu. This is purely Buhari's decision to follow this case, and we should appreciate him for that. I think Buhari as individual, we always see him as someone who is clean, even up to date. You can't really have direct issues that maybe he has actually do something about the system around him, people around him. He has allowed them to actually do a lot of things that is negative to Nigeria trajectory. So for me, I think the plus for Muhammadu, you can see that he even take the glory himself. He has to come out and say yes. I don't know if you notice that he has to took it.
And according to the story, he even issued a statement.
Exactly.
And of course, he said there were pressures here and there to settle out of court, but he's insisted that no way, that they must, and he directed his late chief of staff, Kyari, and the just passed Acting General of the Federation, Malami.
So this also exposes how portfolio business are going on in Nigeria.
Yes.
People bring people abroad, connive with them and defraud the country.
Yes.
It's happening every day. So we need a
and these are
an exposure.
These unpatriotic Nigerians, they would have been living large if they had said true.
That's it now. Imagine the number. Perhaps they have agreed with the person on percentage, and they are not pushing for that. And they also go to Nigeria and say,
and they were taking documents to these people to give to them.
Yes, now so that they can have a better case.
Yes, they have a better.
So these are the problem. But I think it takes a very disciplined president to also fight this. Bourgeoisie is the problem, and that's another problem we always have it with Tinubu. Tinubu has been exposed politically for long, so there's some things that it's
We
for
don't
me.
want to offend
He
his
wouldn't
friend.
want to do a lot of. So, but let's wait and see, because he said he's going to liberate Nigeria and going to make Nigeria better in terms of economy and politics. So let's look forward to that.
Now, apart from this case, what about the people that are involved? Are they going to be tried?
A good
penalized?
country would have identified these people.
Yeah,
and
I actually
also
saw
they
some
would have-
names.
because if you
being
recall,
present.
even
I
UK,
actually saw some names.
UK actually would deal with people who.
Yes, he has reported
There's
this.
even a case in is it in US? US. There's a lawyer there's a lawmaker that is being tried now. You know what he did? They said he connived with an Egyptian company to defraud, to do business and allow them to have unnecessary profit. And they are trying him in court. Look at that, as simple as that. But in Nigeria, everybody wants to influence everything because of the share that will come to them, and it's killing our politics.
It is really, really sad. Now, there's another paper that I would like us to throw light on, and that is The Guardian. Why probe of 11.3 trillion naira refineries maintenance cost we end futile.
Well, it's pretty. In fact, it's dead on arrival, because successive government has tried to probe. So we don't want to hear probe, please. What we want to hear is that the refinery is ready and is working. We are not interested in this probe because it's like a distraction. When you say you want to probe and you say because they are probing, things are delayed. No, at this point in time, we want to result. So Tinubu should not join this. Should not be
distracted.
Exactly. He should just give us that by, they said November, by November, December, that's what they say. So let's even give them December that the refinery is working. Perhaps that will now reduce our problem. Because now they even said first gas still loom again. And the thing is that it's only LPG that is even important because of the Naira dollar crisis. So we are hoping that they will now bring this refinery on board, and we can easily have something good to smile at.
Thank you so much. Now, lastly, just before we go, the NSC is having a meeting with the federal government
Are they in the meeting?
and is insisting that the labor minister should not be part of the meeting. So what are we going to see overall? Because some of the templates that they signed, they are already working towards it. Like, for instance, what you just mentioned, that December target, it was what they was agreed on, that, oh, give me December. President Buhari said, give me December, and at least Port Harcourt Delta refineries will be working. These ones were part of
for me,
part of the deal that was.
My question is that why they do not want the minister to be there? Because the minister is just coming, so I wouldn't know the crime he has committed, and it appears it comes with experience. If you are a governor and you have dealt with the whole state, so it's easily, your negotiating power should be very, very strong. So perhaps they have noticed some things they don't like the way it's playing, but they should also allow. That shouldn't be a condition. Take your own negotiation forward, push it forward. Don't say government should not. Then who will now be in the meeting if the minister of labor that is representing the president will not be in the meeting?
Now, incidentally,
at the point they said they don't want Dr. Amila, if you recall. So now the minister is fully there, and you say you don't want minister. So
now,
who do you want?
The part of their demands now to federal government is fall in naira value. Of course, incidentally, that's the leading story on the national economy today. Free fall. Why the naira will continue?
As at now, I don't know the miracle that happens. The dollar has fallen
to 1,111.
So what we're just
yesterday anyway, but I don't know.
So that's just what I'm saying. So the fact is that, like I always said, it is not easy to remove first subsidy and flow the net. Is a problem, because every effort you are making in one place is being eroded by the other side. So I think their demand is valid, but I want them to follow this demand with action. Like I always like the other, is it Osifo, the one for TUC. He's always coming, the TUC guy. He's always coming with solutions. How many CNG do you have? What is the infrastructure? Because sometimes you don't look at the end result. What's the process to the end result? If the process are not being followed, you don't have that end result. So you can have a decision with the federal government, an agreement, a truth can be achieved. But if the process, the infrastructure, the enabler are not there, it simply means it will not bring the appropriate results. So I think it's a good one. Let them keep challenging this government or bringing them to accountability. Maybe by so doing we can have a better Nigeria.
But don't you think it's too much that the federal government we are having with subsidy removal and naira floating?
It's too much a policy, you know.
And you leave everything to market
Exactly.
forces.
It does not work, because now if you say we float the naira, we need dollar to buy. That's why you see that it's only NPC that is importing, because no importer will have such dollar to go and import. So that shows that there's a serious problem. So if they aren't solved, there's a problem, you know. And I can tell you now there is subsidy in these guys, because for NPC to say I'm the only sole importer where you have 85 licenses and it's not operating, that means you cannot access that. That means you are the only one importing and giving to them. That is subsidy on its own, because if you allow the market forces now, the fuel would have been 800 and something. I still got that rumor this morning that fuel is going to be 800 per liter. So
Wow.
I don't see that this is a serious challenge.
It
I
is.
don't know how. And Tinubu kept promising Nigeria is going to
That,
give us a better economy.
Yes,
So we
that's
look forward
what he
to
said,
that.
and that's what he said. That's what's leading on this today. Well, viewers, thank you so much, Dr. Ali Elias. It's always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Well, viewers, this is where we end today's presentation of the program of your favorite program on television, Inside Nigeria. My name is Winifred Webo, and of course, my Monday guest has been Dr. Ali Elias. He's a political economist and also public affairs analyst. And we'll come your way again same time not next week, with him next week, but tomorrow on the program. I remain Winifred Webo. See you then. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For
As well. What happened to your paper now? The economy or what?
080368861. Last word, because you have the last word.